This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We are in New York and I'm delighted to be joined by trainer Sugar Hill Steward. Sugar, how are you?
I'm doing great in New York, Madison Square Garden.
We are here indeed, Madison Square Garden, and your charge, Nico Ali Walsh, makes his ring return. Talks about his camp ahead of his next outing. How has he been looking?
Nico's been doing well. You know, it's just every day in the gym improving. Not like a fighter who's just training to get ready for a fight, but just continually training and continuously learning. And it's going good for him. I'm happy with it. No weight problems. Just continuously learning.
Sugar, I'm interested to know from your perspective, as somebody who, your uncle was one of the great trainers of all time in Emmanuel Steward. In Nico's case, his grandfather was one of the greatest boxers of all time. Do you have any sort of resemblance of pressure which is on his shoulders, which you had maybe felt coming through yourself as a trainer?
Well, I'm just having fun, Andy, and I think that's what most people call pressure. It's just fun for me. So I'm having fun doing something that I love to do. I love teaching, and that word pressure, I like the word because there's no pressure on me at all. There's never any pressure. It's just going out there doing what you love and knowing what you're doing and just having fun with it.
What about in Nico's case? Do you feel there's any pressure on Nico to try and not necessarily emulate what the great Muhammad Ali had achieved, but to try and live up to the name effectively?
There's no pressure for Nico. We've talked about a lot of things over the time that we've been working together, and I can say at first there was some pressures and some uncertainties, but now none of that exists in Nico. He's having fun learning, and he's being himself. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know, you mentioned his grandfather Muhammad Ali and maybe trying to be like him, but I told him that if that's who you want to be like, and there's certain things that's what you're going to do to emulate to emulate him, then you should, because that's your grandfather. That's somebody you look up to. It's the same as me with Emmanuel, as my uncle. So some people try to tell you, oh, don't just be yourself. Don't try to be like him. Yeah, you can be like that person, but you're going to also be yourself too. So there's a different makeup of this kind of a person, because it's getting some of Muhammad Ali, or for me getting some of Emmanuel, and some of myself, as well as Nico getting using some of him to go out there and just be himself, but just having the knowledge and the things that he looked up to as his grandfather, to take that in the ring with him and to take that into his boxing career is excellent. It worked for me, and it's also working for Nico.
Sugar, I just want to get your thoughts on Nico's opponent this weekend. What challenges are you expecting him to pose for him?
You know what? I really haven't looked at the opponent like that. It's something that I rarely do, which people probably say, oh, it's bad for boxing. You don't look at the guy. But I'm looking at my fighter primarily, and I need to know what he can do. I talk with the matchmakers, top-ranked Bruce Trampler and everybody, and we all just we stay in communication, so we know what kind of fighter to put Nico in front of, for his next challenge. It's all just a growth period, and he has to just take certain challenges little by little. As I said before, he's a novice fighter, so it's not like he's expected to make these big moves so fast as if he's like a Jared Anderson or something like that. And I'm saying that because he's sitting right there. But somebody like that. It's no rush for Nico trying to prove something or to be something that he's really not. Just be himself and continue to learn and to grow and take it step by step.
Sugar, moving on to another one of your charges. Finally, the WBC have ordered the bout between Tyson and Dillian Whyte. I was trying to get your take on, knowing that you can kind of work towards an end goal now, the next fight, and start preparations once a deal is agreed between the pair of them.
Well, for me, it goes back to me being me, and this is why I stay looking young and beautiful. It's because I don't care about none of that stuff. Just give us a fight date, and we're ready to train and fight. It doesn't take that long to train for a fight. 6 weeks is good enough time, and Tyson's ready. Tyson stays training anyway. Those long camps, 8 weeks and stuff, but those are for guys that get totally out of shape, and they need to get totally in shape. Well, Tyson's already in shape, so all we have to do is just prepare for that person, whoever the opponent is, and that'll be that. Whether it's Dillian Whyte, whether it's Usyk, Joshua, whether it's anybody, it doesn't really matter, honestly. It's just Tyson wants to fight. I want Tyson to fight, and he'll take anybody.
I'm going to ask, do you expect it to be Dillian next, simply because Tyson's openly spoken about his desires to face Alexander Usyk if AJ could agree to a step-aside deal?
Nah, I'm not listening to nothing Tyson says about who is the next opponent. because we don't really know. It's not even up to us. It's something that we want because he wants to fight anybody. So the names are going to pop out there. He'll say anybody. He may even say your name.
I hope not.
But that's just the attitude. It's like it's whoever. I mean, throw somebody's name out there. Maybe it'll happen. But Tyson wants to fight. He wants to fight whoever's out there is supposed to be the best, and whoever he has to fight because he enjoys it. He loves boxing. He loves fighting. He's a fighting man.
If it is to be Dillian Sugar, what do you make of that fight?
Knockout time. It's nothing but knockouts. You know, I just believe in Tyson that much and his abilities and what he's learned and what he's still learning. We haven't really done that much. There's things that we worked on that we haven't even been able to use yet in fights because we just stay constantly working and learning.
Sugar, just a couple more quick ones from me because I know we are about to start. We've seen some huge shock in the lightweight division a couple of weeks ago. George Kambosos overcoming Teofimo Lopez here at MSG. And obviously last weekend we've seen Devin Haney beat Jojo Diaz. Jared Anderson coming up behind you.
I was just talking about this. I said it was an experienced fighter. I said experienced fighter, you don't have to wait and baby them. You can just put them right out there to go and they're ready, just like you. See?
Sugar, I just want you to get your thoughts on George's victory against Teofimo Lopez a couple of weeks ago.
You know what? I didn't see the fight. It was on so late. I was in Vegas, so it was late. I woke up and I only saw the 12th round. Maybe, I think I saw 10, 11, 12, maybe something like that. But, I mean, from what I saw, it was a good fight, great fight. It was bloody, which is exciting when someone draws blood. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I mean, from what I saw, they were both competitive still. And I'm assuming that's how the whole fight was.
It was indeed. It was a competitive fight. George more than deserving to win.
Yeah, a competitive and exciting fight. So I haven't seen it yet still. I'll watch it when I get around to it. Yeah, it was good. It was good for both of those fighters. Sometimes people say a loss is something bad, but it's really not something bad if you can learn from it. So everybody's lost. Everybody's lost. And if somebody goes maybe 100 fights or whatever, 50, 100 fights, 75, and never lose again, I mean, he never lost again. He never lost, but he did lose because that loss helped him to get to the point where he's at now.
Right, Sugar, we'll leave it there now because I can see everybody getting up onto the stage. So I appreciate your time as always. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
We're going to stay here. We're going to just keep doing our own little private interview while they go up there. And maybe the crowd will shift over here to us.
You can do a running commentary for me.
They say you never give up the mic and you relinquish the mic.
Sugar, it's a pleasure as always. Thank you.
All right, Andy.